Well, alright then, since I labeled the other videos wrong, let's call this the review for the other Chapter 3 exam. And as I look at it, this formative exam, there are a few things that are key that you need to remember. And one of them is that when you're adding fractions together, whether they're rational expressions or rational numbers, you have to have a common denominator. Now, if we look at this, 2x plus 3 and 2x minus 3 look similar, but they are not. They're not common denominators. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to multiply each one by the other denominator. I'm going to have to multiply this one by 2x plus 3 over 2x plus 3, and this one by 2x minus 3 over 2x minus 3. And what did that do? Well, that gave me 2x minus 3 here, plus. Now, if I do this distribution, I get 6x squared plus 9x plus 10x plus 15. And in the denominator, I get 2x plus 3, 2x minus 3. And now, if I combine like terms in the numerator, I get 6x squared plus 21x plus 12. And that's all over 2x plus 3 times 2x minus 3. But all we could do with the numerator is we could factor out a 3. And, I bet that would factor down a little bit more. If I take a 3 out, I'm going to have a 2x and an x. And if I take a 3 out of here, I got a 4. That would give me a 7. And that would have given me a 2. Oh, I lied. Absolutely none of that factors. So let's forget about that whole thing. There you go. Just like we never talked about it. You can leave your answer just like that. Okay. That's fine. But remember, when you add or subtract fractions, you have to have common denominators. Have to. It's not an option. Now, the same is not true when you multiply or divide fractions. Let's say that I had 3x minus 5 over x squared plus x minus 6, and I was multiplying that by x plus 3 over 3. Well, I'm going to factor everything out as much as I can. If I look at this first numerator, I can take a 3 out and I've got x minus 5 left. And that's going to be times x plus 3. Now if I factor x squared plus x minus 6, I get x plus 3 plus 3 there, x plus 3, x minus 2 times 3. And now, this 3 and that 3 cancel out, and that x plus 3 and that x plus 3 cancel out, and we get x minus 5 over x minus 2 as our answer. Okay. Now, let's take a look at some division. Let's say that I had something like x squared plus 2x plus 1 over x squared minus 1, and we are going to divide this by x plus 1 over x minus 1. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to factor out this first one. I'm going to take x squared plus 2x plus 1, and that becomes x plus 1 times x plus 1. Now, that's x squared minus 1. That factors into x plus 1, x minus 1. And now when I take the reciprocal of the one I'm dividing by, x minus 1 goes to the numerator, and x plus 1 goes to the denominator. And now, let's see. I can make a big one here. This one and that one become a 1, and x minus 1 and x minus 1 become a 1. And the question then is, what is the answer? Let's see. Do we think the answer is 12? No. No. If we look at this, we've got all kinds of 1s, and if we're multiplying all kinds of 1s together, that's another, well, stuff my turkey moment. It equals 1. Very good. So, let's see. Really, the key to doing well on this test is going to be, can you factor? Can you factor something like x squared minus 8x minus 9? Can you factor that out? Can you get x and minus 9 and plus 1? Because we need two numbers that multiply to 9 and have a difference of 8. Okay. And if you're unsure if you did it right, you can always distribute it back real quick. X squared, x minus 9x is a minus 8x minus 9 minus 9. So we did that right. Recognize a difference of squares. Let's write down a difference of squares first. 4x squared minus 16, right? 4 is a perfect square, x squared is a perfect square, 16 is a perfect square. This is a difference of squares. So we can set up our two parentheses. 4 is 2 times 2. X squared is x times x. Now because this is a minus, I got to have two different signs down here. Otherwise, when I multiply them together, I'm never going to get a negative constant. All right. Now, 16 then is 4 plus 4. 4 and 4. Plus 4 minus 4. And that's factored. Okay? Don't forget to take out common factors. If I had 5x plus 10, I could take a 5 out and have x plus 2. That would work as well. That is considered factored. Let's see, what else would we like to look at? Oh, how about if I had something like this? X cubed minus x squared. Okay, I could factor an x squared out of both of those things and have x minus 1. Okay, things like that are things that I would be able to do. Now, if you can do those things, you're in pretty good shape. You should be able to blaze right through this test. If you have any questions, please see me tomorrow morning. We'll try and go through this, and we'll take the test tomorrow because, after all, there's nothing like an exam on Friday the 13th. Thank you, and have a good evening.